So we've mentioned teaching our young dogs to out. It's critical. It's done by the handler away from the bite work. We go into this in great detail in the Tug video, but I'll give a quick encapsulation of the basic process so that people are familiar with it. So the way we teach the out is through what we call non-reinforcement. So we're assuming when we're playing tug with a young dog that they're enjoying the activity of tugging, the movement, the interplay, right? So we look at tugging as an interaction between the dog and the handler, a kind of give and take type thing. And so the activity, that give and take, tends to be what the dog finds reinforcing. So by immobilizing the toy and not moving it, we take that reinforcing part of it away from the dog. So when it sits still, it's not as much fun, and they learn to let go to start that process back up again. So one of the things that we need to do is determine, we'll talk about how we do that in a second, but determine when we teach the puppy to let go, right? So this is critical, right? So if we do it too soon in the process, then the puppy loses intensity for biting and tugging behavior. And if I wait too long, then I give myself big problems and I create conflict in trying to teach the out. So finding that perfect point is one of the difficult things that we do, one of those difficult judgment calls. So while we're playing with our little puppies, you're going to be playing tug with your puppy. You're holding a little soft tug, the puppy's chasing it, they're grabbing it with good energy, we're tugging, they're holding on. You feel that they're committed to this activity. At that point, we're going to try to out the puppy once the puppy's committed to the activity, meaning they don't have to warm up. They grab the toy with good energy. We're going to teach that puppy to out. And depending on how easily that goes, or how difficult that is, we'll do more or less of it to kind of keep that dog in balance as the dog grows up. So let's say my puppy's biting well on a little tug. So I'm tugging with my puppy. I simply hold the tug still with both hands, take all the tension off the toy and immobilize it, and just wait for the puppy to let go. It might be 5 seconds, it might be 30 seconds, it might be 2 minutes, but if it's a young puppy, it's generally going to be a puppy pre-teething, like under 16 weeks, it's not going to be more than a minute, right? It's very uncommon that you get a young puppy that's going to stay in there that long. It occasionally happens, but very rare. As soon as they let go, we immediately mark it yes, and the toy jumps away, and we tug with them again. We make an obvious, that was what we wanted, and the game starts back up again. And as soon as they get to the point where I immobilize the toy and the puppy lets go, I simply put it on command. So now the puppy's tugging well. I know if I immobilize the toy, they're going to let go. And then I say out, I hold the tug still, I wait, they let go, I say yes, and I give it back to them, right? So it's really that simple. If the puppy lets go really easily, then I'm not going to out them very much. I'm going to focus more on letting them have the equipment, encouraging them to bring the toy back to me to play, a lot of other things, making them want to hold on to it, want to keep playing with me. If they stay in there for a minute and keep fighting and fighting and fighting and they're reluctant to let go, then I'm going to do more of it until they start to let go voluntarily. The reason we don't want to do too much of it is that we can get a dog that thinks that they aren't supposed to bite anything that's not moving, right? So they're biting, and every time something goes still, they let go of it. And if I do a lot of outing right from the beginning with a little puppy, then I can have problems later on in the protection work with my static biting. Every time the helper doesn't move very much, the dog thinks they're supposed to let go. And we can get that dog out of balance that way. And so we want to just be a little bit cautious about overdoing this. But more people err the other way by far, I would say. Right? So the vast majority of people build the dog up way too much, wait too long to teach the out, and then have all kinds of problems and conflict in the out because they've got the dog out of balance the other direction, where the dog's obsessed with having the toy, they haven't had to let go of anything, and now it becomes difficult. So we want to find that balance point. And generally, we start early. If it's easy, do less. If it's difficult, do more. Simple as that.